Hi, I'm Jenny Wade. Welcome to your Restorative Candlelight yoga class. Today we'll be focusing on totally calming down, activating the parasympathetic nervous system so that you can really find full release and rest. And we'll also be focusing on cultivating self-love. Within the realm of cultivating self-love, there is a spectrum of those of you that are going to feel super comfortable with that exploration and those of you that are going to feel super uncomfortable with that exploration. And know that wherever you lie on that spectrum, this class is for you. The two foundational pieces of cultivating self-love are paying attention and breath. Paying attention is foundational to any relationship. And when we're working on cultivating a relationship with ourselves, we have to start by paying attention to whatever it is that's inside of us. Sometimes that's lovely, sometimes that's ugly or painful. But just taking a moment to pay attention, to watch, be aware of what is inside of you, puts you on a pathway to healing and really learning how to care for yourself. Breath is the other component of this work, and when we can't locate care for ourselves, the next best thing is to find breath. Because when we're able to really breathe deeply, our bodies are able to relax and release. And that sets the stage for self-care to start taking root. So we're going to start on our backs. So come to lying on your mat, all the way down, and find Shavasana. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you, and allow yourself to fully arrive. To land here, to sink down into your body, and begin breathing. Not just any breath. Breathe big, deep, intentional breaths. With each inhale, pull your breath down into your belly button. Feel your belly inflate. And exhale, give your body permission to fully release down into the ground. Take a few more breaths like that, inhaling, feeling your belly rise up towards the sky. And exhale, trace the sensation of your breath over your top lip. And then we're going to start cultivating a loving breath. So with each inhale, draw your breath to the back of your throat and feel the sensation of your breath moving all the way down your throat into your belly. And feel your breath trace back up your throat, out your nose. And allow the cadence of your breath to feel as if you're stroking the back of your throat. The smoother your breath can be, the better. Take a big inhale, inflate your belly, pull your breath through the back of your throat. And elongate your exhale as much as you can, allowing your body to drop down into the ground. As you concentrate on pulling your breath through the back of your throat, we're stroking the vagus nerve, which automatically activates the parasympathetic nervous system. That stroking breath is like giving your body full permission to release and relax. And if you can infuse a tone of love or care into your breath, do so now. Scan from the crown of your head down to the soles of your feet and notice what parts of your body are in the most need of care or attention today. Where do you feel internal constriction? Where do you feel muscular tension or pain? Send your loving, deep breath to those places. Take 2 more breaths like this. Big, big inhale, inflating your belly, pulling through the back of your throat. And exhale, trace your breath out your nose and rest your body down. Hug your knees into your chest. Stamp your back on the ground. So if your tailbone is pulling up, tuck your tailbone under and really stamp your tailbone down. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. If this is too much with your leg lifted, you can stamp your right foot down. Interlace all 10 fingers behind your right thigh or on top of your right shin. Allow the back of your neck to release. Soften your whole torso down into the ground and gently tug your right shin or thigh towards your torso. Option to use your left elbow to press your left knee away from your body. But we're not going anywhere too intense here. You want to be able to breathe full, deep breaths alongside of this stretch. If you notice that your body is tensing in reaction to this tension we're putting on your left hip, intentionally soften all of the tension that isn't through your left hip. And find that deep, soothing breath. Send it to your left hip. And notice if your mind is wandering. It's hard to stay with our bodies, with our minds. Let's see if you can keep your mind's eye focused on the sensation through your left hip. Find the place where the stretch is most intense, the apex of the stretch. And intentionally send your breath there. Breathing in, release. Breathing in, care. From here, transition to supine twist. Drop your left foot and right knee over to the right side of your mat. Extend your arms out into a T or find goalpost arms and look over your left shoulder. And since this is a restorative class, we're not forcing anything. We're not really diving into the deepest twist here. You're just allowing gravity to do work. Letting your body totally soften down into the ground. And notice here if your muscles are holding on. if everything is gripping in towards the midline of your body. See if you can trust your muscles to fall away from the bone, to drop down closer to the earth. Re-engage your deep breath. Locating the parts of your body that most need your attention, and sending your awareness and your breath there. Take 2 more breaths. One last inhale and exhale. Bring yourself back to center, hug knees into your chest. Oof, give yourself a little rock from side to side. Other side. Cross your right ankle over left knee. Start by stamping left foot down into the ground. Press right knee away from your body. If this is your edge, stay here. If you want a little bit of a deeper stretch, interlace all 10 fingers underneath left thigh or on top of left shin. Use your grip to draw left knee towards left armpit. And then use your right elbow to press your knee as far away from your right shoulder as you can. We're intentionally bringing opening to your right hip. Can you soften through your chest? Release through your belly. Soften through your face. And breathe. With every inhale, you're stroking through the back of your throat, inflating your belly with your inhale breath, and then reluctantly letting go of your breath as you exhale. The slower you can make your exhale, the more your body will be able to calm itself. Draw your awareness to the apex of the stretch through your right hip. And send your breath there. Release through the back of your neck. Soften your lips. We're here for 2 more deep breaths. From here, release your hands. Drop your right foot down towards the ground. Extend your arms out into a T or into goalpost arms. Gaze over your right shoulder. And again, we're not forcing anything here. If you don't feel any sensation here, you can squeeze your inner thighs together and let your knees drop over for a deeper twist. Give your body permission to be right where it is. Greet the tension through your body with your breath. And notice if you're greeting the tension with judgment or greeting the tension with a stern jaw. And instead, see if you can greet the tension through your body with compassion. Breathing in, opening and release to all of the constricted muscles through your back and hip. Take one last big inhale breath, inflate your belly. And exhale, feel your body relax down into the earth. Slowly come back to center. Plant your feet on the ground. And give yourself just a moment here. A moment to feel your back on the ground. To feel opening through your chest and throat. And to re-engage your breath. Press yourself up to a seat. Come to an easy seat. And we'll come into a side stretch. Drop your right fingertips down to the ground next to you. Reach your left fingertips up and over. Root your left hip point down into the ground. And then from that hip to earth connection, reach your left fingertips up and over. If you want to deepen here, walk your right fingertips away from your hips. Maybe even bend into your elbow or press your forearm down into the ground. Let your body be right where it is. Breathe into the opening through your intercostal muscles, your left side body. Take one more inhale. And exhale, transition, left side. Bring your left palm down to the ground. Reach your right fingertips up and over. Action your right hip point down into the ground. And then from that anchored rooting, reach right fingertips up and over like you were reaching up and over a barrel. Turn your right ribs open to the sky and draw your right shoulder away from your right ear. Again, if you'd like to deepen, walk your left fingertips farther away from your hip. Option to bring left forearm down to the ground. You don't want to go anywhere where you have to hold your breath. So find a place where you can keep that smooth, deep inhale and exhale. One more inhale. Exhale, press yourself up to a seat. Next, we're going to start stretching into our hips. So cross your feet, left ankle in front of right ankle. Bring fingertips behind you and really action your spine long. Your hip bones are connected to the ground. If your hips are really tight, you can slide a blanket underneath your hips for a little bit of more space through your hips. Press finger points down into the ground. Lift the crown of your head high. Some of you will stay here and just breathe into the tension through your hips. If you have a little bit more space, begin hinging forward with fingertips behind you. Option to stay here, or bring fingertips forward and press down to forearms. Notice how your hip bones want to lift up off the ground. I want you to intentionally press them down into the ground. And then from that rooting, pull your rib cage farther away from your hips. And breathe. Get your breath really involved with this stretch so that with your inhale breath, you're lengthening your rib cage away from your hip points. And with your exhale, you're bowing forward. Inhale to lengthen out through your spine. Exhale, fold down. And our hips tend to hold a lot of tension, but they also hold emotional energy. Sometimes when we're stretching deeply into hips, you might have an upswelling of emotion. Just know that that's not odd. And if it does happen, breathe into whatever comes up. Whenever you come up against internal resistance or stuckness, deepen your breath. And we're not forcing anything here. We're just allowing gravity to draw you deeper into the stretch. Take 2 more deep breaths in and out. If you've folded forward, press yourself back up to a seat. Other side. Cross right ankle in front of left. Anchor fingertips back behind you. Reach up through the crown of your head. Take an inhale breath as you reach, reach, reach. Stay here or hinge forward. Stay or fingertips in front or press down to forearms. Let your body be your guide. So notice if you're trying to perform for yourself or trying to take the most advanced posture. See if you can listen to the cues that your body is giving you as an indication of where you need to be today. Close your eyes. Release any expectation you have for yourself here and breathe. We're stretching into your hip here. Notice if any other parts of your body are really gripping. Give yourself permission to release whatever tension the rest of your body is holding on to. And re-engage that loving breath, sending attention and breath to your right hip. Two more breaths. Make them your biggest, your fullest. Make your way back up to a seat. And extend your right leg long. Hug your left foot into your right thigh bone and spin your torso to face your extended right leg. So feel your thigh bones and your hip bones root down into the ground. If this is too much for you, bend through your right knee. But still, even if your knee is bent, I want you to press through your heel and draw your toes towards your knee. Inhale, reach your fingertips tall. Exhale, fold forward, keeping the left thigh bone and the left hip connected to the earth. Bow over your extended leg. And again, let gravity take over here. Your hips are connected to the ground. Your spine is reaching long. Your face is soft. Your breath is full. Keep your awareness connected to the sensation through your body. Notice the ways that it might subtly change breath to breath. Notice if there's space to drop deeper into the stretch. And you know that it's too much if you can't breathe fully. So only go as deeply as your breath will allow. Take your last 2 breaths here. Anchoring both thigh bones down. Dropping down into the earth. With your next inhale, walk your hands back to your seat and switch sides. Extend your left leg long. Hug right foot to your left thigh bone. And again, you want to feel both hip points sink down into the ground. Both thigh bones anchor. Turn your torso to face your extended left leg. Inhale, reach your fingertips tall. Exhale, fold forward. It doesn't matter where your hands land. Let your body be where it is and breathe. Anchor right hip point down. Stretch the crown of your head towards your left big toe. And allow your heart to melt towards your knee. And pay attention to the places in your body that need the most care right now. Pay attention to those places. Allow yourself to be curious about those places, either emotionally, mentally, or physically. And once you've located those parts of you that need care and attention, imagine that you could swaddle those hurting places with your breath. That you could wrap the fullness of your breath around that pain or discomfort or tension. And then with your exhale breath, you could let a little bit of it go. Find a loving, compassionate tone to your breath. We can breathe violently, we can breathe neutrally, we can breathe lovingly. And if you're having a hard time, like, understanding what I'm meaning by that, think of a person or an animal that you've really loved in your life. And let the feeling associated with that individual rise up in you. And then using the physical experience of that love you have for that person or animal, breathe that warm opening and direct into those parts of you that need care. 2 more breaths here. Big breath in. Press yourself up to a seat and come onto hands and knees. Rock your hips from side to side. Ooh, and soften any tension that you're holding on to through your back, through your hips. Walk your fingertips forward about 6 inches. Center your left knee underneath you, and then draw right knee to the outside edge of your right wrist for a pigeon. Extend your left leg back behind you and drop down to forearms. Action your right hip point to the back of your mat as you draw left hip point towards the front of your mat. Feel your heart extend away from your hips. And if there's room to drop lower, you might bring forehead to palms or forehead to fists. You really want to get comfortable here, so if you can't fully relax, I want you to grab a blanket or a pillow and bring it underneath your right hip so that your right hip can come into contact with something and then it really has room to fully release. Inhale, trace your breath down the back of your throat into your belly. And exhale, drop deeper into the stretch. Release into the floor. When we engage these restorative postures, we get the benefit of opening the muscles in our body, but we also get the benefit of practicing staying calm in the midst of discomfort. So pay attention to how you engage this discomfort in your body. Often the ways that we engage discomfort on our yoga mat mirrors how we engage discomfort in our everyday life. So pay attention. Notice if you're enacting anything here, and reorient yourself to a new way of engaging discomfort. Invite it in. Breathe into it. For a long time, I engaged my discomfort with aggression towards myself, with shame towards myself. And in yoga, we have the opportunity to meet discomfort with compassion, with grace. So see if you can find a different way of relating to the discomfort through your hip here. Send your breath and your loving intention to your right hip and allow your body to release down a little bit deeper into the stretch. Always remembering that if it's too much, you can come up out of it. Take one last deep breath in and out. Press yourself up onto palms and step back either to downward facing dog or hands and knees, whatever is more comfortable for you. Inhale, draw left knee to the outside edge of left wrist. Extend your right leg long behind you. Let your hips drop down. Walk your fingertips forward and allow your thigh bones to get heavy. Action your right hip point forward, left hip point to the back of your mat. With your inhale, draw your heart between your elbows. Exhale, melt down into the ground. Option to drop forehead to palms or fists. If you're really craving deep sensation here, know that the more you can draw your heart center away from your hips, the deeper the sensation will be. Notice any internal gripping here, any internal constriction. Bring your awareness especially through the midline of your body, from the crown of your head down to your pelvic floor. See if there's room for you to soften internally. And wherever there is constriction that just won't let go, let your breath flood that part of your body. Come back into contact with your loving breath. Pay attention to the discomfort through your body and soothe yourself with your breath. There's a lot of tension through your left hip, but where else can you soften? Where else can you release? Where else can you relax? Take one more big breath in and out. Press yourself up onto hands and knees. And rock your hips from side to side. Release any tension through your hips, through your spine. And come to a seat. Extend your legs long in front of you for a forward fold. From here, option to sit on a blanket in order to lift your hips higher if your hamstrings are strong and tight. Flex your toes towards your knees. Press your heels forward. Bend as much as you need through your knees. Inhale, reach your fingertips tall. Exhale, bow forward. Breathe into the whole back side of your body. Relax your head down. Let it be as heavy as a bowling ball. Invite in the tension. Invite in the shaking. Welcome whatever this posture holds for you with your deep, warm breath. Really let gravity draw your body closer to the ground. And if you've lost it, come back to that stroking breath, directing breath all the way to the back of your throat, inflating into your belly, and then reluctantly letting it go. Walk your hands up your legs. Lower yourself all the way down onto your back. Draw knees in towards your armpits and hold here. Option to stay here. Lengthen your entire spine down onto the ground. So if your tailbone is lifting up here, tuck it under so that your low back is cemented down. Find a just tiny tuck of your chin towards your chest to elongate through the back of your neck. Stay here or take happy baby. Grab onto the outside edges of your feet and use your grip to draw knees down towards the ground. Keep that tailbone tucked under so that your low back is flat against the ground. And give yourself a little rock from side to side. If you want a hamstring stretch, you can straighten one or both legs for some extra opening here. Let the whole back side of your body drop down into the earth underneath you. Engage big belly breathing. Take one more breath in and slowly let it go. Bring knees into your chest. Give yourself a little rock from side to side. Press your low back down into the ground as you rock. Supine twist. Drop your knees over to the right side of your mat. Extend your arms into a T or into goalpost arms. And gaze over your left shoulder this time. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Roll as far up onto your right hip as is comfortable. If you want more sensation here, cross your left leg over your right. Take one more big breath here. And let it go. Come back to center. Draw knees into your chest. Other side. Drop your knees over to the left side of your mat. Option to cross right leg over left for a deeper sensation. Extend your right arm out and gaze over right shoulder. Notice if anywhere through your body there's a constricting of muscle drawing in towards bone. See if you can allow your muscles to fall away from the midline of your body. Allow your edges to soften. Take one more big breath here. Come back through center. Hug your knees into your chest. And release yourself into Shavasana. Legs extend long, palms drop down by your sides. If you have any discomfort through your low back, you can bend your knees, plant your feet, and knock your knees together. Allow your body to find rest. And if there's any lingering tension through your mind, through your body, through your emotional system, invite that tension to release and soothe that tension with your loving, calm, kind breath. If there are any particular parts of your body that are really needing your care and attention, you might even put your hands there. And use your touch, your attention, and your breath to care for the parts of you that need it the most. Take 3 more of your deepest, fullest breaths. And start slowly waking your body up. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Rock your head from side to side. Reach your fingertips overhead. Stretch your toes away from your fingertips. And then draw yourself into a ball. And then drop your knees over to your left side for fetal position. Close your eyes. Hold here. And just savor this calm. Savor the rest that you were able to cultivate in your body today. With your next inhale, press yourself up to a seat. Eyes can be open or closed. Hands on your knees. Bring your hands over your heart. And one last time, pay attention to any parts of your body, your mind, or your emotional system that need your care, that need your attention and breath. Acknowledge the work that your body has done. Find gratitude for yourself for taking the time out of your day to engage this practice. The light that lives in me acknowledges the light that lives inside of you. Namaste. Thank you so much for engaging this practice with me today. I hope that you're able to take this rest and this posture of care and love into your day. Thank you.